because the bold have the courage to see things that the rest of us can't. They have the vision to bring things into being, and ultimately, they have the strength to imagine a world that is yet to come. So I'm going to talk to you about 3 big ideas today. I want to show you what the world's going to be like in the next 10 years. I want to help you to prepare for how that's going to change the way you work. And lastly, I want to give you some advice about what you need to do to survive and thrive in the world of 2035. So let's start at the beginning of the story. What's the world going to be like in the next decade? Well, the funny thing is that I'm sure you're aware, AI is changing everything about the way we communicate today. But it's not just about chatbots, like ChatGPT. One of the most important things that's happened in the last 2 years is that AIs have begun to understand the world like we do. So this is a demo for Google, for example. So this AI is actually describing what it sees of a human being doing. Watch this video.
The bird is swimming in the water. It has a long neck and beak. It is a duck.
Yes.
A duck is a type of waterfowl in the family Anatidae. Ducks are closely related to geese and swan.
So you can see the AI is actually describing what a human being is doing. Now this is pretty impressive, but I saw a much better example of a programmer who taught his system to describe the world as if it was the famous nature documentary maker David Attenborough. Watch this.
Here we have a remarkable specimen of Homo sapiens, distinguished by his silver circular spectacles and a mane of tousled curly locks. He is wearing what appears to be a blue fabric covering, which can only be assumed to be part of his mating display. Look closely.
So this is funny. So it's no surprise when shortly after this, ChatGPT brought out a new version that wasn't just a text box, but actually could pretend to be a live human being. So here you see ChatGPT helping a programmer prepare for a job interview.
Well, it's for a software engineering role, but I just need to know, do I look presentable, professional?
Well, Rocky, you definitely have the unbelievably all-night look down, which could actually work in your favor. Maybe just run a hand through your hair, or lean into the mad cheese smile. Your enthusiasm is what's really gonna shine.
I don't have a lot of time, so I'm just gonna throw this on. What do you think?
Rocky, that's quite a statement.
Now, I don't know how you feel about this, but if you think it sounds like Scarlett Johansson, you'd be right. And her lawyers tried to sue the company for this immediately. Here's proof though, if you give a bunch of nerds $1 billion, they will try to build a computer that's their virtual girlfriend. So the interesting thing about what's changing, of course, is that AIs are becoming more like human beings. They're being built into our devices. If you buy a pair of sunglasses now from Ray-Ban, they've got built-in cameras that connect to the web and allow you to get information about the world around you. Google are building eyewear that actually lets you look around your office and gives you advice about what you're seeing. And if you look even deeper, there are new technologies like this called the AI friend. It's a little amulet you wear, and it's always listening. And sometimes it'll just send you text on your phone, making fun of you, making comments about the food you're eating. It's designed to be a replacement for another human being. And even more terrifying, about 2 weeks ago, this Norwegian company demonstrated this new robot they're building for the home. It's coming out next year. It'll be the price of a small car. And this isn't a human being in a jumpsuit. This is actually a robot that's designed to be in the house, help you with your household chores, and I guess when you need it, give you a hug. Terrifying, I know. So think about this. All of this has happened in the last 2 years. So do you think it's possible that we are underestimating how different the world is going to be in the next 10 years? You see, what I believe is that what's happening now is the beginnings of a revolution that's going to change every company on the planet. The most successful companies are going to be the ones that use AI technology not to be faster or cheaper, but to connect with their communities and deliver new experiences in ways we've never imagined before. So let's think about some examples. I mean, one great example, I think, is that in the future, companies won't sell products. There will be platforms for the delivery of better experiences to customers. Look at Tesla. Tesla doesn't build cars. They build smartphones on wheels. This is a fleet of Teslas being updated via Wi-Fi. The difference between an expensive Tesla and a cheap one isn't the paint or the leather seats. It's the features offered via software. But Tesla isn't the biggest car company in the world. The Chinese company BYD is. And where did BYD start? They started by making batteries for smartphones. So every industry now is transforming as technology changes what it means to be successful. And even here in Korea, you see businesses like Hyundai. They're building these sophisticated robots now that transform buildings, whether it's self-parking robots or robots that bring you food. In fact, I don't know if you realize this, 1 in 10 of all workers in Korea today is a robot. It is the most automated country on the planet. And it's just the beginning of a new world in which every company is a technology business. The second big change is the change from transactions to experiences. Take a minute to think about how the way that you use your phones today and how it's changed your lives. Now, who here knows? Who here mainly listens to music on their phone? Like Spotify, YouTube Music. You raise your hands? Okay, so most of you. Do any of you here still buy CDs? Records? Cassettes? No one, right? So, those of you that listen to music on your phone, who knows how much they spend every month on music? Who knows the subscription price? Does anyone know? Okay, about 70, about 20,000. This is crazy, isn't it? Because if you go back 10 or 20 years, you probably know how many CDs you bought. But because of AI, your relationship to how you consume that product has changed forever. Same thing with transportation. I'm sure many of you use Didi or Uber to get around. How many of you know what you spent on your last ride? Who knows what they paid for their last ride? Okay, a few of you. The funny thing is that you don't really pay attention to cost anymore. Now, it's not that you're not paying attention to anything. When you're standing at the side of the road, waiting for your car, looking at your screen, what is the one number you're most worried about? What is it? Time, right? You're wondering how long before you get to the car of a complete stranger. That is the thing you're most worried about. Isn't that strange? I mean, and you want the black van, that's the one you want, isn't it? So think about how technology has changed the way that you consume that service. Almost the complete opposite. And of course there's coffee, right? Whether it's Luckin Coffee or Starbucks. You're so worried about how you're actually ordering this. Your mobile app, customizing your order. The one thing you're not paying attention to is how expensive it is. So all of these brands have leveraged technology to change the experience. And you're going to see this in the beauty and wellness space too. If any of you have some time, go to Seongsu. If you look at some, there's a company there, and they're actually using robotics. So you can go in, they measure your skin, they get the exact skin color, and then you literally wait there while the robot mixes the foundation exactly to your skin color. Now I tried to do it, didn't work for me. I think there's something called a sensor. It kept giving me very white foundation, and I ended up looking like Michael Jackson. But what you're seeing here is the beginning of a world in which artificial intelligence and digital platforms are going to personalize retail experiences in ways we've never imagined before. But the final thing that's going to happen in the next 10 years is a change in something even more important. We're going to see the transition from apps to agents. So think about it today. When you're doing something, whether it's calling a car service or ordering food, you have lots of different apps to do. In the future, you will actually have a personal digital AI that does everything for you. Now already we see the rise of what they call virtual humans, virtual idols, virtual key opinion leaders, metahumans. In China this has been very popular for years. What's interesting in the last couple of years is that these virtual AIs have started to enter the world of live streaming. And those of you from China, I'm sure, are very familiar with live streaming. There are very famous live streamers that sell billions of dollars worth of beauty products on Singles Day or other big shopping events. What they've started doing is creating AI versions of those opinion